Hello. Today I want to do a little experiment. Actually, it's an experiment I did a few days ago, but I want to share it with you today, which is actually it's I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to show you how I went about it. And but the thing I want you to take away from this is looking at it from a standpoint what else you could do with this. It's just an example of something you can do, and you can take it to all kinds of other heights. So, coming to you from my apartment today, as you can see, and the experiment had to do with the old days, which seems like they were so long ago. On my Android, I used to have a feature that would enable me to play audio notifications for emails that have certain labels associated with them. So it was really handy because you just apply some sort of a filter to attach certain labels to certain emails, and then you can have basically a sound notification based on that. And that was super useful until they took it away literally in the next version of Android, which I thought was pretty sad. But Google. So I thought it'd be really handy to have this on my desktop here because I get inundated with zillion different emails on a daily basis, and some of them are important, some of them are not. And obviously, you can go through the normal cleaning process, everything else, as I mentioned in a bunch of my other videos. But sometimes you just need to work on something, and you don't want to be bothered. And so you can obviously turn off notifications and you're not going to be bothered, but then you might be missing something that's important. So if you turn notifications on, then of course you get constant, you got new email, you got new email, you got new email. So nobody wants to see that either. So to find the compromise, I thought it'd be nice to set up a similar situation whereby I can control which emails I consider important, and then I want to be audibly notified with some sort of a sound whenever these kind of emails come in. So to assign a label, we use a filter and we create a label. So in my case, let's just go ahead and shrink me down here and go back to my Gmail and then go to my settings. See all settings. And over here we can see under filters and block addresses, I have a bunch of filters set up. And one of these filters right here is called, it applies a label called Gmail Audio Notifier. Obviously, you can make the label be whatever you want. In my case, I did this as a test and as an example to make sure it works. And it's really simple. I just basically said that I want, whenever email comes in from my business account email to my personal account email, then I want to apply this label. And I did this just for purposes of testing because obviously, this is not how it's going to work later on. The beauty of this approach is that in addition to being able to specify a particular set of instructions for a particular label, you can use then a different filter with different set of instructions for the same label. It doesn't have to be just one particular filter that specifies what you want to be notified about. You can have things based on people's emails, things based on certain keywords, certain subject lines. You can have things based on even certain file sizes. You can, basically, you can really go to town in terms of what the label meaning is. It's a single label, but there's all these different scenarios. So that goes way beyond what Google does with their important little checkbox that shows which emails are important, which emails are not important, because you can't really easily specify to Google what's important because you don't know yourself. Sometimes you have emails coming from a certain, let's say with a certain project name somewhere in the email that's important right now because you're working on this project. But at other times, you might want to be notified in terms of importance, or at all times from your wife or your children, things like that. That's also important. So bottom line is you can set it up to be any way you want in terms of what constitutes important using filters. And then, of course, then this whole process kicks in. So let's talk about the process. How do you get notified? By default in Gmail, you cannot have some sort of a process where a sound will play. They don't have that functionality in place. End of story, basically. That's it. So my approach was, let's use an extension. Use a Chrome extension, because most people use Chrome, and create an extension that would do basically what I wanted to do here. It would monitor email And then as soon as the email comes in with a certain label, which of course filter will automatically handle that, then I wanted to play particular sound notification, MP3 file. So even though I have decades of experience in programming, I have no clue how to create and write extensions. I could take the time to learn, but being lazy and so on and so forth, I don't really have a need for it. So there was no need for me to spend a bunch of time learning how to create extensions. And this is since we now live in the world of AI. Let's zoom over here to Claude and let's ask it to assist, which is exactly what I did. I said, can you help me create a Chrome extension to play an audio sound when a new email with specific label arrives in my Gmail inbox? Simple enough, right? And it says, I'll help you create extensions. So I won't bore you with too much stuff here, other than the fact that there were many, many, many iterations. I mean, it only took a few hours. It didn't, I don't want to make it sound like it took me days to do this. It only took a few hours. But the bottom line was, for whatever reason, Claude was not able to create, the extensions. First, it told me I need to get my client ID, and that means you need to go to Google Cloud Console, and it gives you the instructions as to exactly what to do, where to get it. And then when you do that, basically you end up looking with something that looks like this, and this is the Google Cloud Console, and there is the, part of my client ID. That's the number that they're looking for, that you need to specify in one of the files that it creates. For this, so you need to create a project in Google Cloud. So in other words, this is not something I would say a beginner can do unless they spend some time learning about it. It's not difficult. You can follow instructions and get it done, but you do need to know a little bit of stuff about, Google Cloud Console, and about API keys, and about the projects in Cloud Console, because you need to create a project. So there's some stuff you need to know. If you're a complete total newbie, you have no idea what a project in using Google APIs is, then you need to read up on it, and nobody can do it for you. So, but if you know just the basics even, then it allows you to jump and create an extension, and then it shows up if you do it following their instructions in the Chrome extensions, as you can see right here on this page. There's my extension Gmail notifier, and then you can turn it on, you can run it. So in our case here, if we look at my extensions, it's right there in my extensions, and it's up and running. And right now it just says the single label in there, and it's set up to add, you can add multiple labels, but basically it's really set up for a single label. So that's the basic overview of following Claude. And I fully realize that even though I told you that it's not that difficult and so on and so forth, you do need to follow the instructions as they state, and you will get into some kind of potential issues, and you got different, you can grab screens and give it feedback. And anyway, you're basically going back and forth trying to get this whole thing to work the way they tell you. And we'll just fast forward here to all the way. As you can see, there was a number of iterations back and forth. I'm giving you the screenshots. It's telling me how to fix this, how to fix that, which files, and so on and so forth. And in terms of files, you really have only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, no, you don't even count these. So basically, you have about 6, 7 files that you need to set up, and they tell you which ones they are, what they should have them, and things like that. See, there's 4 of these files, plus you got the sound file, you got the icon file. Relatively straightforward, not too difficult. And like I said, I had no idea how to create extensions, and obviously I got it done. So if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so once I got that done, and once I got to the end of my iterations and everything else, it still wasn't working. It still was coming up with all these errors here. And I decided to kind of give it a little joke to see if it would get offended, if you know what I mean, by saying, doesn't look like you know what to do. Enough for today. I'll see if ChatGPT can fix this. And gave it the old frowny face to say that I'm unhappy. So the thing comes back and says, I apologize for my repeated failures. I thought it was just hysterical. You're right. Well, I got Gmail API working, detecting emails labels. I wasn't able to successfully implement the sound notification despite multiple attempts. Blah, blah, blah. But I failed the actual sound notification level. ChatGPT might indeed have a better solution for the sound notification part. I should have been more direct about my uncertainty rather than repeatedly trying approaches I wasn't completely sure would work. I appreciate your patience, blah, 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 all of that. No, it was funny because earlier, before, I had something. Let me see if I can find it here. Well, I can't find it right now. But anyway, somewhere in there in this whole minutia, I said, "Are you positive that now you know what to do to make it work?" And the guy comes back saying, "Yes, I'm positive." And of course, then it didn't work again. So I just thought it was hilarious. And then it came back with this. And but it says go to ChatGPT. So what do? I went to ChatGPT. I went to ChatGPT not because I thought it could fix it, but I just wanted to see if it would take care of the issue and potentially come up with a different approach. And it did, and it worked initially, and then it came back with some other issues for some reason the next day that wasn't quite working, and then we went through a few iterations, as you can see here. I'm not going to stop and show it to you because it's basically a waste of time. The bottom line being that after uploading all the files and telling it what's not working, I did finally get it so the thing works. The moral of the story here basically is that if you're going to be trying to create an extension for whatever purpose, not necessarily for this any purpose, definitely don't just go to Claude or just to ChatGPT. You can use both, either together or separately, however you want, to get the job done. And between the two of them, so at least in my case, I was able to get it done. So let's bring up my business email and let's send an email as a test and see if it works. Again, I showed you the extension is there. It's up and running. We'll send it to my regular address and testing audible audio, I should say, notification. Let's see if it works. So basically, I just sent an email and nothing special about it other than the fact that the email is sent. And then we go back to Gmail and go to inbox. You can see right there, there is this test audio notification, and you can see it attached this special label that the extension is looking for to see if it should play a sound. Now we just wait for a little bit to see if it plays. Okay, so obviously it worked just fine. Play the sound. Notice that there was a delay of about, I don't know what it was, 10, maybe 15 seconds. 10 seconds looked like. And the reason for that is because when the extension runs, it checks for new emails every 30 seconds. So I don't have any control over that. That's what it does. So potentially, depending when the email comes in, you could have a potentially 30-second span of time where you're not getting this notification. But in the bigger scope of things, when you're working on things and so on and so forth, you do want to be notified. You don't want to be notified pretty quickly, but 30 seconds is not going to kill anybody or save the day, so to speak. So it's definitely decent enough. And of course, that's the worst case scenario. A lot of times it winds up getting there much quicker, sometimes almost immediately after the email arrives because of this 30-second span it takes, is when it's checking. As it's checking, then it'll play the sound and so on. So let's talk a little bit about the sound. So the sound itself is something that, as you can see, the kind of music I like. I decided to create a regular MP3 file with partially that sound. I don't like to use little chimes because if you use little chimes, then, like in the case of my speakers, when the sound starts playing, when it didn't play for a while, you can't even hear it until like a second into it. So you might end up missing the first part, number one. If it's a small chime, you miss it completely. That's the way my speakers work. Okay, just something with the architecture. So that's one reason you don't want to make them too short, number one. Number two, if you're in the middle of doing something and then all of a sudden, because you have these different, your phone beeps or this beeps, or some kind of beep comes in, you may miss it that way too because it's not long enough. So that's why I opted to go for a longer sound, okay? I don't recommend you use this music like I did in terms of being that long, and I'll explain in a second why, but I do recommend longer sound in terms of how much it's supposed to play, just so it really gets your attention, okay? And so the idea being that in the myriad of different sounds you're hearing, this kind of deal will definitely stand out, and definitely I can hear that it's playing for a while. So the last thing I wanted to mention is that if you want to set up something like this, similar to what I have, I would recommend, and we're going to do this right now so you can actually see it too, I would recommend changing the default sound it's playing from some sort of music piece to something that's basically spoken speech, verbal speech. The reason I say that, so let's just go ahead and change what I have with this one here. Let's copy it and paste it, and then let's get rid of this guy. Basically, it's playing a file, that's how it has to be, in my case, called notification.mp3. Okay. And so what this file plays is just me saying something. I actually used 11 Labs using my voice to record it, but you can easily record it using your voice anyway. If you use different voice, obviously you can use something like 11labs.io and have them record it in whatever voice you'd like. If you're going to use your own voice, like you will hear my voice, it doesn't make any sense because I can just easily record something this short on my own. I don't need to worry about screwing up or anything. But in this case, it's actually 11 Labs playing using my voice. But the point here is that I'm basically using verbal comment here as the notification. And I'll explain in a second why after we test this one out. Let's make sure it works. So we're going to go back and let's go ahead and create another email here. And we're going to be calling it, this is the last test. So you can see different ones. And we send that and it should play shortly. Hi, Mom. Okay, let's hear it. So it came in right here. And we got the filter on it. I'm sorry, not the filter, label on it, based on the filter. And we should hear it shortly.
New important email arrived.
Okay, so that was the deal. I'm going to go ahead and just play the audio file so you can hear it again here.
New important email arrived.
Okay, so it just says new important email arrived. Okay, so why do I recommend using this approach? The reason is because if you do decide to use different labels, and this is something that I'm going to add to this extension later to be able to have different labels for different notifications. If you only care about all the different kinds of emails to say, I just want to be notified that if any of these conditions are true, I want to be notified, I don't really care about anything else. If that's the case, then you can even use the audio sound because it's so unique and everything, that's fine. But if you did want to have a situation where you have email coming from your kids versus email coming from your mother-in-law, and both of them are important, but you want it to be notified differently, then you're going to have to use a different sound because otherwise you have no idea, is it from your kids or that. So in other words, if you wanted to have a way to actually determine who the notification is from, then my recommendation is not to use different kinds of sounds, because if that's the case, then you forget which one is which, especially if you have more than two. Let's say you have 5 different criteria options. I mean, you have to remember which music piece was for which person or which criteria. It's too much for the brain to remember. So I recommend you just basically simply record a verbal statement indicating what it is. Email from the children, or you got email from for project such and such. Something that will tell you exactly what it is, and that way you can have as many of these labels, as many of these notifications as you want. You can turn some on, you can turn some off easily by removing the label situation. So it makes it very convenient. And I will add, and I'll probably make another video. Right now, this extension only does a single sound. You can use any sound you want, but it's going to be just one sound, acting based on a single label. But I want to change it so I can add more than one label, and that way also have different notifications with different sounds for different labels. Then it'll be totally, without basic limitations. Then it's going to make it really flexible, and I can use it for all kinds of notifications using audio, and that should do the trick. I hope you found this useful and helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment below. And until next time, I'm Oleg.